Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's Unseen video. This is where we round up all the big talking points from social media, and apologies we were not able to do this yesterday. Big problems with X once again, folders not being available. I was able to get some stuff in there and then they all went down and I couldn't access them, so a real nightmare. I hope X gets its act together, really sorts itself out, because that's been quite a bit of disruption recently that we've suffered because of those folders being problematic. But they're back now, so I've just spent the past 3-4 hours kind of putting stuff in, catching up, so obviously we're going to start with R-Truth, and the message is loud and clear. This was not a work, and personally I'm very relieved about that, not because of, getting worked. I don't care about that, right? Honestly, if that's something that bothers you, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, you would have hated it back in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. Like, it was really hard to know what was real and what wasn't real when, there's just not that much information around, right? It's not like now and the internet and social media. So that whole side of it genuinely doesn't bother me. But what did bother me was the whole using releases as a storyline. Don't like it. And actually, word on the street was there was a lot of people backstage that had been told that R-Truth had gone. And so you're not only working the fans, you would have been working the locker room. You would have been working the other wrestlers. You would have been working everyone. You would have been lying and deceiving everyone, right? And I also think that if you was to mess around with this, that means that when people get released in the future, you would start doubting if they'd actually been released. So all of a sudden now, the very serious moment that someone loses their job, you would have a sizable amount of people going, I bet they're not really gone. I bet they come back next week and all that kind of stuff. And that's just not a world that you want to go into. That's just not something that you want to mess around with. And I think WWE are aware of that. It's been very loud today, very clear in the communication this was not a work. The disappointing thing is that communication did not come from Triple H at the press conference last night, and I think I can tell you why. Because I interpreted what Triple H said at the press conference different to how a lot of other people interpreted it, and I'm going to explain why, right? And so let's go for a walk. So here, R-Truth reacts to the We Want Truth movement. So Wes, thank you. So there was a post that was like, we got worked and whatever. And Ron Killings, R-Truth responded, no. We Want Truth was seen. The hashtag We Want Truth was seen. It was heard, it was felt, and understood. Believe me when I say this, I love every one of y'all to death. We made history together. R-Truth is being very clear. He is not being coy on this. He is not kind of sitting back on this. He is making it very clear the We Want Truth movement worked. You lot made WWE change their mind and improve the offer that they had offered R-Truth so that they could keep him around, right? So, Kian, shout out to you. So, per Fightful, R-Truth ignored multiple attempts by WWE throughout the week to reconnect. Despite the company's efforts, he remained silent until Nick Khan personally reached out and called him to work out a new deal. Right? So, Nick, wow, says Elite Rockers. So, WWE were trying to contact R-Truth throughout the week, and he just wasn't interested. It took Nick Khan himself calling R-Truth to actually get this deal sorted. Now, what that says to me, R-Truth, I think, had a chant on NXT, but I think it happened like once, twice, wasn't really that disruptive. There wasn't, that moment with John Cena on SmackDown. Some people might point to that, and they might say that that resulted in R-Truth coming back. But this says to me that if we were trying to get him back throughout the week, that says to me that I genuinely think it was the online stuff. Maybe a little bit of the Raw crowd, but I wasn't blown away by their chants. They didn't disrupt Raw. It's not like every match had loud We Want Truth chants. It's not like people were trying to do promos and they were being drowned out. So for me, I didn't think the Raw crowd was that crazy. I didn't think there was that many signs. But if you looked on social media and you looked underneath a lot of WWE's posts and you looked in the comments of their videos, if you looked everywhere, all their platforms, it was everywhere. The message was very loud. on social media. It was very loud on the internet. We want truth. Hashtag we want truth. And I think that has worked. And I think as a result, they then spent the week trying to get truth. Couldn't until Nick Khan actually went, I'll call him myself. And actually made that phone call. So we're really starting to find out some of the details about this now. Some of the kind of finer details. So yeah, here, this is the one that I think those people that are adamant this is a work is kind of using, and I think they've kind of not read it right. So R-Truth's son, Christopher Killings, in response to Triple H, implying that R-Truth's situation was all part of the show, said stop the cap. So that was R-Truth's son basically saying stop lying, right? Now, I've got to talk about this because I interpreted this differently. Triple H was in a very difficult situation, right? He didn't have an answer that he could give because if he said it was a work, right, then I've just explained how that is a really bad look, right? I've just explained that basically coming out saying we fooled you all and all that sort of stuff, there's going to be a big backlash there. A big backlash, not just from the fans, but from the wrestlers as well. Not because they got worked, but because you're using the releases. And, you know, saying that you've released R-Truth when you haven't is just a really bad look, right? Because that happened the same day that they actually parted ways with Carlito, right? And then told Carlito they weren't going to renew his deal. So if you hadn't have done the R-Truth stuff, then a lot more of us would have been more focused on Carlito. Carlito's kind of got a little lost in the shuffle in all of this. Carlito is gone from WWE, and we haven't massively spoke about that, right? Because the R-Truth news was bigger. And so if it turned out the R-Truth news was all fake and it was a work, I mean, you could say that's really disrespectful to Carlito, who didn't get the kind of flowers that he should have had and the thanks that he should have had. And, you know, this time it was Carlito. What if next time it's an even bigger star? Plus also next time when people get released, you're going to have a load of fans not believe in it. So they won't get their flowers. And as I said, you can't really say this is a work. So Triple H can't say that. But equally, he can't say that it wasn't. Because if he says that the fans brought R-Truth back and we're listening, you are then opening a whole world of pain. Because already we've got lots of people trying to get like Dakota Kai back, trying to do loads of different things, bring back sets. All of a sudden, you've told the fans your voices are heard. So what do you think the fans are going to do? They're going to try and shout for other things, aren't they? They're going to try and get other things. And I've heard in an interview Triple H saying that that's a problem, really. If the fans think that their voices are that powerful, you're just really encouraging kind of these big campaigns to happen on a regular basis, the show to be disrupted. You're kind of encouraging the fans to interrupt the show so that they can chant for whatever it is they want. And that could be a problem for Raw and for SmackDown. That could be a problem when, you know, you put a post up and it's just got, we want Dakota Kai underneath it by a load of people. I mean, that kind of disruptive nature is not something WWE want to encourage. But equally, they can't go the other way and say that it was a work because then, of course, it's a bit of a bad look. Doesn't taste right. So he was in a difficult position. Couldn't go that way, couldn't go that way. This is why, for me, the answer he gave was, did you enjoy the show? It's all part of the show, which is a nothing answer. It is, was you entertained? Are you pleased he's back? All part of the show. Not that the angle was part of the show. Not that R-Truth being released and then being brought back was part of the show. But, it was a nothing answer. Did you enjoy the show? Well, there we go. Him coming back was all part of the show. I mean, don't forget, this is the guy responsible for helping to select who got cut. This is not a moment that he's going to be, like, over the moon with, because basically he is sat in a room, probably with Nick Khan, to try and figure out, right, we've been told we need to trim down the wage budget. Who shall we cut? They've gone, I think it's time to cut R-Truth. They've done it. Massive backlash from the fans, right? To the point where they brought him back. I mean, this is... there's no dub here for Triple H. There's no dub. Like, this is just the fans basically forcing WWE to undo a decision that he played a part in making. This is not a question that he can really go into detail about. This is not a question that he can really, you know, spend a bit of time on. So his answer, which I'm sure he did think about, was, how do I go down the middle? How do I provide an answer that's not an answer? How do I just bat this away? Did you enjoy the show? Well, it was all part of the show. And that was it. Not that the R-Truth thing was planned and that this was executed and it's part of the show, if that makes sense. That's how I interpreted it, what he said, because I understand that both of the options, it's a work, it's not a work, lead to issues, they lead to problems. So yeah, I understood that, but people did not interpret it that way. They interpreted it that this was Triple H saying that it was a work and that this was a work all along. But there's no evidence to support that. I did not interpret it that way. I think you can interpret this comment a different way. R-Truth is saying that it was not a work. He's being very clear on that. R-Truth's son has basically come out and said, stop the lies, stop the cap. So you can see there's kind of a mountain of evidence that this was, you know, him being released and then being brought back. So, Altheos, thank you, my friends. So, huge backstage updates by WWE. Let's go here. So there's little reports kind of doing the rounds. R-Truth is officially back in WWE, although technically he never left. And no, this wasn't a storyline. At the conclusion of Money in the Bank, R-Truth shocked fans by attacking John Cena. During the main event, just a week earlier, he had publicly announced what many believed to be his release. WWE quietly clarified to Fightful that it was just his contract expiring and he hadn't taken up a new option, right, to extend it. They basically offered him a new deal, but it was low in money and he felt a bit disrespected by that and didn't take it, right? So that meant that he, in a few weeks, would have been done, right? Would have been out. Behind the scenes, sources close to R-Truth Ron Killings said that he had already signed a new deal, though, now, right? His son, Christopher, appears to confirm this news with a cryptic but clear social media post, the one that we just looked at. In the days following Truth's departure, a wave of wrestling promotions and companies reached out to try and book him, believing that he was a free agent. Numerous WWE talents also confirmed that the situation was not a work. Several described emotional goodbyes and said the backstage atmosphere was one of shock and disappointment. One source put it bluntly, there was a lot of tears. Killings was shocked and kind of disgusted. We all were. According to talent close to the situation, Truth was let go in a cold and impersonal way. Apparently, it was a low-level talent relations person rather than anyone from upper management that kind of, you know, oversaw his departure. I still think there's some really bad stuff here. I still think some of this stuff just looks terrible by WWE. You know, I mean, brilliant that they brought him back, but just awful. Some of this stuff is still horrifying. I hope there's a review here as to how you deal with this kind of situation in the future if it ever happens again. Someone so loyal, someone so loved, someone so long-serving being kind of dealt with this way. Truth reportedly ignored multiple WWE attempts to reconnect throughout the week until CEO Nick Khan personally intervened. Sources say that Khan's involvement led to a new contract being worked out, which was described as a meet halfway agreement, right? So, lowball offer from WWE, turned down by R-Truth, improved offer, accepted by R-Truth. One veteran who's worked with Killings for more than a decade said Ronnie wouldn't lie to us. If this was a work, he would just have kept quiet. He'd never go that far. And I think that Paul knows work in the locker room is bad taste. So one thing to work the fans, but actually working the wrestlers, telling them something that's not true. Bad taste. Triple H, during the post-show press conference, implied Truth's exit and return was part of the show, which I, as I said, didn't interpret it that way. But not everyone is buying that. Several talent refute that claim. Christopher Killings used the cap emoji. Another longtime wrestler was even more candid, saying, I don't believe for a second that this was some grand plan. And I can tell that Hunter hates it when the fans hijack the story. We touched on that. A close friend of Killings inside WWE summed it up with a mix of humor and heartbreak, saying, it's hard to feel good when we fired Santa Claus. It said the deal came together in the final 72 hours before the event. So, you know, I know we're going through a lot of detail in this. I know we're really focusing on like a lot of the detail here. I think people are after the detail. I don't know if there's videos out there that's pulling everything together. We can do that right here, right now, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that. And this is why, for me, there's nothing here that's saying this is a work. And I've even explained Triple H's comments and how I interpreted them initially as well. Here's a reaction from in the crowds.
Roman, no. It's our trip! It's our trip! Oh my God! Oh my God, take it off! Take it off! Take it off! Please! Yeah!
I don't even know what he did. I mean, I actually watched this and went, did he hit him with the belt after, did he? I have no idea what happened after this. I remember Truth revealing himself, and then I don't remember really the next hour. I genuinely don't. I mean, my brain just got flooded with all these thoughts. I remember on the stream being like, I just don't have words. I don't have words. I just don't know. Can't find the words. In a way, I could. And the honest answer was, if they have done this as a work, I hate it. I don't think you should use releases as a work. But if they have brought him back because of the fans, fantastic. Brilliant. Amazing. We want Truth back. I love R-Truth. I'm so pleased to see him back. But in my mind at the same time, I was like, I hope this was not a work. I hope they've not used releases as a way of working us, because that sucks in my opinion. I think it's just really low. So thankfully it's not looking that way. Kimberly, shout out to you. Kian, shout out to you. I got tagged in obviously what R-Truth had to say quite a bit. Coach said, I think this is a good learning lesson for wrestling fans. I've seen so many people saying you guys are all idiots. It was a work the whole time. Not everything is a work. People make mistakes. And this was a mistake by TKO that I will give them credit. They fixed it. Not sure why in life it's hard for people to simply say they made a wrong decision. Let's fix it. I don't believe for a second Triple H at the press conference telling a reporter it was part of the show. If they hadn't been booking week to week, maybe it would be believable. But the company is daily looking to spare every single dime they can. And it was a cost-cutting measure that backfired. Let's see what they do with the incredibly talented Karrion Kross and Scarlett. The Venmo won't be as loud as Truth, but it will be loud. So I think Coach here just saying, like, you know, you can be heard. This is a lesson to wrestling fans. Like, your voice, it does matter. And when I say voice, I don't even mean the voice in the crowds. That matters. But even your voice on social media, because I personally believe it was the social media reaction that did this more than the kind of live crowd reaction. I think they helped, but I think, you know, just go and look at any post from last Sunday after the news broke. I mean, it was just flooded. It was everywhere. And I think the response was loud online. Ron Killings again responding to Fadeaway Media. No work. Right? Another no work. I don't know how this guy can be any clearer. Vintage T, shout out to you. Dave said Rhea spoiled Truth's t-shirt debut by wearing his new shirt. I don't know if this is a new shirt. I mean, what I would say is I think I can't remember what show she wore that on. I think it might have been SmackDown. So I don't know if this is a new shirt or if it's just an older shirt that's kind of come back now with, like, apparently Ron Killings being the name. Did she know? Was she in on it? She wasn't in on it. Apparently none of the talent knew. So I think, you know, there might have been some of these shirts lying around. I mean, backstage, there is this place where they've got all the shirts, all the different superstar shirts. I think it's so they can wear them on the show and whatever, maybe sign some to give out to fans or whatever. You know, if you need merch, it's there backstage. And so I think she's probably gone up to there and won, have you got any R-Truth shirts? They've gone, actually, yeah, we've got these. And so she's popped one on. I don't think she knew this was like a new shirt. I don't think she knew that R-Truth was coming back. I think she's literally gone up to that place and gone, have you got any R-Truth merch? Because I want to represent. And they've gone, yeah, actually, we've got these that just came in. Boom. And so she's popped that on. So I don't think it's anything more than that, to be honest. But yeah, certainly some interesting questions around this shirt. Is it an old shirt? Is it a new shirt? When was it available? When did Rhea wear it? But as of right now, I just believe she just wanted to show support, and they had some of these shirts just backstage. Cathy, emotional. Here we've got Camel saying, not a work. Cathy Kelley getting emotional during Money in the Bank post-show, right? Skip forward a bit.
Bring him home. Tonight, R-Truth's return was not just a surprise, it was a reminder of why we all love this. I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but I just want to say, and I speak for the entire WWE universe, I am so happy to see my favorite part of every WWE show back. So welcome back, Truth.
Yeah, I mean, she's getting like legit teary there. She's legit getting teary. I mean, she's a great actress, I'm sure, but all the reports are that they were told backstage he was done, he was gone. Here's Cody. Cody said, you guys wanted R-Truth, and it's always our job, everyone here, Triple H, Nick Khan, to give you what you want. So thank you guys for letting us know. Thank you. Edward, shout out to you. Corey from Fightful saying they decided to bring back Truth after the backlash from employees and fans, so even people backstage may have played a part. We don't know what was said from the wrestlers. So, James, shout out to you. R-Truth's surprise return has garnered over 45 million views within the first 24 hours across all of WWE's social media platforms. They are huge numbers. Could R-Truth save WWE by winning the WWE Championship during Cena's final match? I don't think anything is off the table. And actually, look at that. There is R-Truth confronting John Cena when he was with the company, and that looks to me to be that shirt. That looks to me to be that. So this isn't a new shirt. This might be like his newest shirt. I think the big news was the Ron Killings name being used instead of R-Truth now to kind of advertise it, because his merch is back now, by the way. His merch is back on WWE Shop. So yeah, there we go. There's an answer for you. She wasn't wearing his new shirt. She was wearing his most recent shirt. There he is when he was in WWE confronting John. This was a little while ago as well. This would have been before Saturday night's main event, of course. Right. Edward, shout out to you. R-Truth specifically requested the name change to his real name of Ron Killings as part of the agreement, so that when he does end up leaving, that name will already have been established on WWE TV and he can keep using it. Ron Killings did ask for the name change to his real name as part of the new deal. The advantage is that when the deal ends, he can go straight to the indies or personal appearances. So I think he's done with R-Truth, and I think this now is Ron Killings. And the reason why is because he wants to continue using that name. Word on the street is this is his final run. This is his final contract. I think this moment has shown him that WWE see him now being towards the end of his time. And so this is now an opportunity for him to end his career, knowing, like, everyone on the same page, maybe this contract doesn't get renewed. And they know that now. So we are in the final run of R-Truth. The thing I love about Triple H pressers is the worst answers are always the ones to the biggest questions that he knew was coming. It's true. Do you remember his answer to the Vince thing? And his answer was, oh, I've not read it. I don't know. Yeah, he's not brilliant at press conferences is what we've learned. Right, that's R-Truth stuff, and that's took up way more time than I expected, but I wanted to put everything in that I know and I have seen so that we are all on the same page. Edward, shout out to you. So WWE Recruitment have just unveiled the full lineup for the latest next in line class, which is going to include Mark Henry's son, Jacob Henry, Scott Steiner's son, Brock Rechsteiner, and Titus O'Neil's son, TJ Bullard. So here there's Mark Henry's son up there, TJ Bullard, that's Titus O'Neil's son, and there is Scott Steiner's son. What a class that is going to be, hey? What a class that is going to be. So this is the next lot of next-in-line talent. So these are people that we'll see eventually on Evolve, we'll see coming through into NXT. It's going to take them a while, obviously. Got to learn the basics and everything first, get their characters going and everything, but they are on the way. Right, Raymond, thank you. Here is Adam Pearce with a preview of Raw.
All right, everybody, Adam Pearce fresh off the plane here in Phoenix off of what was an historic Saturday in Los Angeles between Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. And Raw is live tomorrow night from right here in the Valley of the Sun. The 2025 Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth freaking Rollins will be in the house, as will the undisputed WWE Champion John Cena. Don't forget, we kick off the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, and Nikki Bella is back. One of the all-time greats will be in Phoenix tomorrow night, and your main event. A main event anywhere on planet Earth for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso defends against the former champion, Der Ring General Gunther. All that and so much more live from Phoenix tomorrow night. It's Monday Night Raw, the flagship, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, live on Netflix.
Yeah, big show. Big show. And as he said, Nikki Bella back. This was announced during Money in the Bank, but a lot of those announcements during Money in the Bank were kind of overshadowed by the R-Truth news, of course. But Nikki Bella is back. We're heading towards Evolution, so of course that makes sense. The Miz has confirmed he's on good terms with WWE. He said, I thought that all that noise would just go away. I didn't want to draw attention to it, because if I said something, then it might just draw more attention, and I didn't want that. But it just keeps going. I haven't unfollowed WWE at all. WWE and I are in a very good standing. We just dropped Miz Golf, which is actually part of WWE's YouTube. So he's saying that he has changed a few bits about his social media, but it's no shade at WWE. And he's not stopped following them. And they're in good standings and everything. So he's kind of trying to play down those kind of rumors. Obviously, WrestleMania was announced for Vegas again. And I got to tell you, I love this logo. I think this is brilliant. Feels a bit fresh, feels a bit modern, feels a bit different, and I really like it. If you think that they were going to be in New Orleans, so they've had to kind of swerve and change anything, and they've come up with this. So different to kind of what we've been seeing recently. It's a bit edgier. I really like it. I think it's great. Love the logo. So, yeah, we are going back to Vegas next year. There'd been some fake news doing the rounds that they were going to be going to Saudi instead, but that was just fake news. Lots of fake news, by the way. I'm getting tagged in so much fake news. There's like Wessel Ops instead of Wrestle Ops, and Wessel Votes instead of Wrestle Votes, that are just churning out all this fake news, and I keep getting tagged in it. Like, I would say really try and see who is posting these things. These places are designed to try and catch you out, though, so I don't blame anyone for getting caught out by it. But, yeah, a lot of people getting caught out by that stuff this weekend. Lots of fake news doing the rounds. Okay, let's go and just have a little glimpse at the weekend. A lot of this stuff kind of lost, unfortunately, because of the folder issues. But, yeah, Worlds Collide, fun show. Some people really raved about it. I thought it was good. I scored it about a 7. I personally didn't think it was as good as Money in the Bank, but I did think Vikingo versus Chad Gable is, like, potentially the best match we saw on Saturday. I mean, it was very good. Yeah, the red, white, and green ropes, AAA and WWE logos in the middle of the ring. Very cool, very different. And yeah, talking of different, Mr. Iguana, very over, right? He had a massive weekend. He got a great reaction at Money in the Bank. People really enjoyed his spots during his match as well. And we'll see that WWE have taken note of that. And there's even talk about bringing him to NXT. There's even talk like, oh my God, we could do something with this guy. So he had a massive weekend. We spoke about Chavo Guerrero being at the PC, and he did show up at the show in the crowds, which was great. This apparently Finn Balor's wife, she was doing a little bit of announcing, kind of interviewing. I wonder if she is going to be a part of AAA, or certainly like certain bigger shows that involve WWE talent. I wonder if like this is going to be a bit of a regular gig for her, or if this was just a one-off. So the wife of Finn Balor, Vero Rodriguez, interviewing Stephanie and Lola after their match. If wrestling is fake, then explain this. So this was a little clip during one of the matches. So this is just part of the reason as to why Mr. Iguana got over. There, look, you can see a bit of a Spanish fly by Lindsay on the puppet. It's going to divide opinion, but people were having fun with it and enjoying it. So, Cruel, shout out to you. WWE officials discuss bringing Mr. Iguana to NXT after viral weekend reaction. Jeremy Borash was the lead person in charge of running yesterday's WWE and AAA Worlds Collide event. Borash was running all the aspects of the broadcast, and the show was described as basically a Jeremy Borash production. Lola said her Cuban flag gear was a tribute to her grandparents. I didn't know. Honestly, I thought it was Puerto Rico, but it's a Cuban flag. So there we go. It was a tribute to her grandparents, and lots of love for... Do you know what? I didn't know that was the message attached. I genuinely didn't. I just saw that there was high marks and praise for Corey, but I would go as far as to say, isn't it disappointing he's not on Raw? You know, that whole, sorry, you're not famous enough thing. I mean, when you listen to how great he was at Worlds Collide, it is an absolute robbery. It is an absolute travesty that he is just the third man on the NXT announced team now, rather than having where he should be, the job he should have up on Raw. There were high marks given to Corey behind the scenes in WWE for his work as a lead announcer. He was brilliant as well, because Conan didn't provide much at all, apart from facts. His tone was very flat. He wasn't able to really inject any enthusiasm into the show. He wasn't really calling much in the way of the action. Like, Corey was having to do the lead and colour commentary, and then Conan would basically, in a pretty monotone way, jump in and provide facts. I like Conan a lot, but commentary is not the place for him. And Corey having to do a lot of heavy lifting during that show and getting high marks as a result. Dave Meltzer praised Chad Gable following his match with Vikingo. He said Chad's, if there was ever any doubt, is one of the most underrated guys in the business. He's a WWE trained guy, so going out there and working a lucha high flyer, he did a great job. They had an outstanding match. And high praise from you guys as well. You scored it all time. And as I said, many of you said that this show was better than the Money in the Bank show. I think for me, the first three matches, which didn't really have anything going for them, they were just like tag matches, multi-person tag matches. They were fun, but they didn't carry any significance. There was a few little off moments in them as well. They were not botch-free. There was a few little off moments in there. Comparing that to, you know, the high stakes of Money in the Bank, Solo being turned on by Jacob, R-Truth coming back, the really brilliant match between Becky and Lyra that I really enjoyed. I mean, I thought that match was really strong. I thought both of the ladder matches were really good as well, honestly. But you lot scoring them both great, giving them great ratings. So, yeah, for me, Money in the Bank would edge Worlds Collide. But for many of you out there, this was the better show. Talking of Money in the Bank, let's go Money in the Bank and let's see what we've got in here. So Alexa said that FedEx are really dropping the ball, so she was waiting for some gear. I don't know if she got it in time, but we do have a bit of an update on her gear because there was a post showing the new gear that she had made. Dave saying Nikki Bella on the show Monday to set up Evolution. My favourite moment of the whole weekend. Right, going over, boom, fell over. Lol. Logan Paul botch. The best moment. Maybe the second best moment, though. One that, honestly, I didn't catch live. But check this out. Andrade. That is just... I mean, I know Andrade is not a fan of luchas. Doesn't like luchadors, or certainly Chad doesn't. But, come on. Not even to my worst enemy would I want to do that to them. Bang. Bang. And actually, I think Andrade put a message out with some moody faces and an egg. So, the ladder cracking his egg. So, Larry, thank you. Dan, shout out to you. Yeah, lots of pushback on Seth winning. People weren't crazy about it. And here, Adam saying, hey, Knight, don't worry. We got you for the Hot Wings Fireball, Dude Wipes Progressive, Snickers Battle Royal. Don't worry about winning. The fact you didn't win Money in the Bank, we got you. You're going to win this sponsor-heavy Battle Royal at SummerSlam instead. Dude, Fireball on the side of the ladder, Cash App on the briefcase. Just when you think the sponsorships can't get turned up much more, they find new ways, don't they? They find new ways. Is that a glimpse at the future, eh? King Yeet Newsletter, shout out to you. Jay pinned Roman at Money in the Bank. He got a title match. Solo pinned Cody. He got a title match. Now Cody pinned John. Are we going to get Cody, John at SummerSlam, the rematch? We absolutely could. I thought they would do CM Punk, honestly. And I still think at some point they will do CM Punk. But yeah, Cody getting the pin, which again was lost because of R-Truth coming back. But Cody getting the pin on John absolutely could set up SummerSlam. So something to be aware of. So here's Jason, said I had a help today from an adorable halfling who added something special to her mommy's skirt. So there we go, a handprint from Alexa Bliss's child and on there. But again, I think this might, I don't know if this is what she was waiting for. I don't even know if this arrived in time. But yeah, it seems like Alexa was saying that FedEx had really let her down, dropped the ball today for Money in the Bank. I wonder if this is what she was waiting on. So there we go. So made by Jason Baker. So Ty Sinister, thank you. Talking of Alexa, here was an interview that she did just after Money in the Bank.
We have to talk about the match that just happened because it was pure chaos. It was so intense. What is going on through your mind during like the peak of it?
Honestly, it's a very intense and painful match. So you're just making sure that you're doing what you can to prevent anyone else from going up and getting the briefcase, which obviously I did not do very well.
Do you have any plans for revenge?
I always have plans for revenge. If there's one thing about Alexa Bliss is there's always a plan for revenge.
One specific person that you want to have retribution against?
Well, clearly right now Naomi just got the briefcase, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see something there.
So, I mean, a couple of bits in there saying that she's always got plans for revenge. No words on Liv. But, you know, I'd imagine they'd want to keep that a bit of a surprise if they're still going to do that. We thought she would go after Liv because Liv eliminated her in the Rumble, eliminated her in Elimination Chamber. And so that all seems to have kind of been forgotten. The Charlotte stuff, don't know where that's going to go. I mean, we seem to tease something between her and Charlotte, and that never went anywhere. Do we now revisit that? Do we go back to that? She was talking about Naomi. She was like, well, clearly Naomi just won the briefcase. So, you know, if I was going to look at anyone, it might be her. So, you know, is that a new target? So it's always interesting hearing from Liv, but I don't think there's much we can take out of it. Right, Blue Eyes, hello, green shirt guy at the press conference. Now, what I can tell you is that there is a ticket that you can get for WWE that does allow you to go to the press conference. It's one of those VIP priority pass type deals where you get to be front row, you get to kind of do different bits. I mean, at WrestleMania, he came walking down the ramp, right? And also was kind of in the timekeepers area. A lot of people look at that and go, he's working for WWE. To be honest, I don't know his exact relationship, but what I do know is that there are tickets that do allow you such privileges. So it could be that he is just purchasing these tickets or somehow getting access to these tickets, which gets him access to these perks. So these aren't all just journalists. There are very limited special tickets that do allow fans into these as well. So just wanted to get that out there. Here's Becky says, raise my hand. Really enjoyable match between these two. I think people were saying, though, like how Lyra was really struggling. The finish was a bit flat, I agree. They kind of tried to make out that Becky had a handful of tights, but you couldn't really see it that well. I think they've tried to make it, like, disputable. I think we're going to see more progress on that, of course, on Raw. But, yeah, I thought the actual contest between the two of them was very, very entertaining. Chad Gable said, yesterday was a special day for me for so many reasons. New experiences for both myself and my buddy, Grande Americano. Other than him, luchadors, I don't like them. I never will. But I have come to respect them. I felt alive like never before. Hell of a day for Chad Gable. Hell of a day for Solo. Solo reacts to Jacob's betrayal, posts this image on his social media, an image of him and Jacob with the red X going through Jacob's face. So there we go. It's been quite a quiet day, actually, Sunday. I think there's probably a lot of superstars traveling. I think there's a lot of people still trying to get their head around the R-Truth situation. So it's been a quieter day, honestly. WWE ID we don't need to look at because we've already had a look at that. We can do other, I don't know what's in there though. Oh yeah, Velveteen Dream accuses Seth Rollins of stealing gimmicks for the past 10 years after the Money in the Bank win. This might resonate with a few people because there's not people that are over the moon about Seth winning Money in the Bank, so some people might look at this and be a bit down on Seth anyway, might hear what Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark is saying, might resonate with them. I'm interested to see what Velveteen Dream Patrick Clark's going to be saying because he's been talking about how he's going to ruin wrestling. I'm not sure if him putting out the message when he did was at quite the right time, though, because I think it's all going to get lost with the R-Truth news. I mean, that is just, honestly, it's just swamped everything. Absolutely everything. The reason why this video is so full of it is because there's so much of it. So much thought and reaction to the R-Truth situation. So, but yeah, that's what Velveteen Dream is accusing. Here, Alan, thank you. So we've got Damien and we've got Zelina. They were doing some sort of parade to do with celebrating Puerto Rico. I don't know if it was like Puerto Rican Day or something like this, but they were on a float, I think going through the streets of New York, and they were there representing WWE today. Here's Natalia, or Natty. She said, "This is such a special honor to follow so many great people who have received this award before me. Wrestling has given me every single thing I have in life, something I've never taken for granted. So being the first woman to receive the Lou Thez Award makes me excited to continue building in a business that I care so much about. Thank you." So Cauliflower Alley is this kind of wrestlers club. It's a way of wrestlers meeting up once a year and being celebrated, and they have a Hall of Fame. And yeah, the Lou Thez Award is going to Natalia, the first woman to ever receive this prestigious award. And it is, honestly, Cauliflower Alley. I mean, it really does have name value in the wrestling world. So, yeah, that's a big deal for her. Cal, hope you're doing well, buds. So Victor said Roxanne Perez did a meet and greet today. She had security. All fans were padded down and there was no touching. They are taking proper measures to keep her protected. Obviously, that is following on from the situation that happened on X. We spoke about it in a previous Unseen where someone was sending threats and there was like a whole account that had been set up which was very concerning. Had been reported, has now been taken down. And we've said before, the best way to deal with that is to not engage with them. Don't send them messages. Don't get into back and forths with those people, right? They've clearly got mental health issues or something. So, or they're not, something's gone wrong. So you need to report it. Report it to X, report it to WWE, report it to the authorities. And I was very encouraged to see that that's how many, many people had kind of approached dealing with it, and good. And so it's great to see that they're protecting Roxanne, because it's happened before to other superstars. It's going to happen again, unfortunately. I mean, we all remember like Sonya Deville having her home broken into and everything. I mean, it's scary. It's a scary world, honestly. Right, Edward, shout out to you. So Cathy Kelley said she might have to ask herself some hard-hitting questions when asked about maybe competing in the ring. So I think it's something she's interested in doing. We've heard she's actually training at the PC, doing a bit of wrestling stuff, but also kind of trying to work out how to be a manager. I think she does have ambitions beyond interviewer, announcer, and she's kind of doing some work at the PC to explore kind of those opportunities. Don't know if any opportunities on the show are going to present themselves, but she wants to be ready for when they do. So I wonder if they've got something in the works planned for her. Here's a glimpse of that float thing that I was telling you about. There's the float, quite big, isn't it? There is Zelina. I believe they're in New York. It looks like New York. But there we go. So it was for, Puerto Rican Day Parade. There we go. Puerto Rican Day Parade. Here's Bailey. Adam, shout out to you. So Bailey is with her mom. Happy birthday, Mom. What a great day. So there we go. That's why she wasn't around. She was actually out with her mom, celebrating her mom's birthday. Dave Meltzer believes that ads are soon going to be added to WWE wrestlers. He said, I expect ads on Ring Gear soon. Seriously, that's not even a joke. This is where it's going. There's no limit to this. If there is a blank space on screen, then TKO want to monetize it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? They're going to have to be very, very careful, aren't they? Because, you know, aura and presentation is so important. I mean, there is a line I think even TKO won't cross. And I think having someone like Roman Reigns come out with like dude wipes on a shirt, I mean, that's going to distract. It's going to take away from his aura. It's going to take away from his presentation. I don't even think they're stupid enough to do that. So I think there's a line, but TKO might get real close to that line. You know, putting Cash App on the briefcase was not a massive problem. Putting Slim Jim on tables is not ideal, but not a massive problem. I don't like the ring, and I don't like 7-Eleven on the turnbuckle pads. I think that looks trash. But I don't know. Even for them, surely there's a line. Surely we don't end up with something like that, you know? Surely. Right, let's go fun. I don't think there's loads, to be honest. Here, Ash, shout out to you. When you're at a sleepover and you can't find any blankets, so you just use whatever. She was down on the outside for quite a while, wasn't she? The IWC, no thanks. No thanks. But Mr. Iguana, I see you. Yeah, so over. Look at all these memes. Larry, here's Simpsons wrestling memes saying wrestling fans right now. Loving Mr. Iguana. Here, Angelo Dawkins said this man Montez tried to bump the car of 6 on the car ride to the airport, and the car disconnected from Bluetooth. So the new album dropped by Lil Wayne, Carter 6. It's getting really bad reviews, really bad reactions. Apparently, even their rental car did not want to play it. Daniel, shout out to you. Seth Rollins says that himself, John Cena, and Cesaro are all in a group chat trying to find the best coffee shops from around the world.
What's your retirement gift for John Cena?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, John and I are on a little coffee group chat because we love coffee. John's a coffee connoisseur. I actually take a lot of pride in this. I'm not going to take full credit. He's in there with myself and one of our other friends, Claudio Castagnoli, who's been a longtime friend of ours. But we talk about coffee, so we travel all the time, so we're always going to different coffee shops. For years, John was like a hermit when he traveled because he didn't want to be bothered, rightfully so. I get it, I understand it. You know, I deal with that on a very small scale compared to what John Cena would get if he walked into a coffee shop. But through our urging, and this partially from this coffee chat, I think John has now gotten out a little bit and gone to, I think his wife helped him a lot on that, but he's gotten out and gone to some coffee shops. So I'm very proud of getting John to come outside of his comfort zone a little bit.
What's your...
So there we go. I just thought that was interesting. I watched that and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. John going out there a little bit more now, and how Seth and John and Cesaro have got a little group chat and they share great coffee shops from around the world. It's just a little glimpse. It's another one of those little glimpses behind the scenes. If you are, like, you know, if you was a wrestler, this is the kind of thing they do. It's a bit like when you see a wrestler flying on a plane and you get to see kind of, you know, the entertainment they watch or what they do with their time. Like AJ Styles used to take a big kind of console setup with him. I'm sure he's just got like a Switch or a Steam Deck now. But before, he used to take like this Xbox and a big screen. It would be in like a kind of really big travel case, and that would be his carry-on. So it's these little glimpses I think can be quite fun. So yeah, great, love that. Right, so that was fun. Let's go community, see what we got in here. So Joey Mama said I got a new John Cena rookie card today at Comic-Con. Congrats, buds. Very nice. Very nice. And talking to John Cena, Shaq Dizdale getting a follow from John Cena. Congrats. Lenny said I got to meet Tyron Terrell and Adam Bomb today. So this is that same shop, I think, that Lenny goes to sometimes. I think they must get quite a few people popping by. I am totally just looking in the background as well at all the figures that are kind of on the wall. They've got like some Simpsons bits I can see over here. Some other bits that I don't even really recognize. Like, I don't know what that is just above. They've got like some at Rocky up there, Turtles. Mate, that's probably wrestlers. Whenever there's a load of box of just figures, it's normally wrestlers. But oh, that's great to meet Adam Bomb. That's great. I'd love to meet Adam Bomb. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, is this the wrestling space, is it? You can see some Hasbros, can't you? And some figures over here in the background. Legends figures. Some old WCW figures. Signed bits over there as well. So, Terrian. So getting signed to Rim 1. Adam Bomb would be the one I'd be most excited for, but honestly, just going to that shop would be exciting for me. So, Lenny, shout out to you. Mayor Pete, shout out to you. Mayor Pete was at Worlds Collide, managed to get a poster and a shirt as well for Worlds Collide. So, hope you had a great time. As we said, people really raving about that show. I think on our other channel, it's currently outscoring Money in the Bank from the community. And Stephen getting a follow from Ron Killings. So there we go. I wish there was more that I could have got in here, but with the folders being down for as long as what they were, and just the R-Truth, the volume of R-Truth news coming through, it meant that a lot of that stuff unfortunately got a bit buried. So it's good to be back, obviously, doing it. So we're caught up. We'll have another Unseen after Raw. Raw is going to be absolutely unmissable. I've already set that up. That stream, it's set up. It's going to start an hour earlier than we do normally because I want to talk with you guys. I was even debating doing a stream on Sunday, like an ad hoc stream, but with all the disruption to Unseen, I just wanted to get this done, get this out there. All the R-Truth conversation, it's been kind of coming through throughout the day, so it's been messy, but we're back. We're up and running, and yeah, God, can't wait to see what goes down on Raw. So thanks a lot for joining us. Appreciate it as always, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.